All right, so let's get started on the first phrase. I'll play it for you, and then we'll get into how to play that on the guitar, and then we'll move on to the next phrase. So here we go. So what do you play? You start with a pre-bent release on 11 with your middle finger, and then make a pull-off to 9 on that G with your index finger. So like this. Full tone bend on 12 on B, and then you repeat the whole phrase. So like this. Then you get, you follow the pentatonic scale down, starting on 9th position on E with your index finger. So then pinky 12 on B, pull off to index finger 9. So like this. Then you do a full tone bend on 11 with G. And then index finger plays 9 on B and E. Like this. Then you get a grace note slide from 12 to 11 on the G string with your ring finger. Pull off to 9 with your index finger. And then you get the following thing. And what you do is you do a bend and release on 11 on G. Pull off to 9. Then play 11 on D, pull off to 9, then 11 on A, then slide to 9, pull off to 7, index finger, like this. And then what you do is you do a grace note slide from 10 to 9 with your ring finger. It's like this. Now for the second phrase. That one goes something like this. So you start on second position of A string. That's sort of just outside the frame, I see. So, or almost just outside there. So that's second position. Then you go to 6 on A with your index finger. Middle finger plays 7. Pinky plays 9. Slide to 11. Then you play on D, G, and B, you play 9th position. And that's sort of a sweep. So there's like... Then you get a slow bend, full tone, on 12 on that B string. Then you play 9 on E, and then 11 on E. And then you sort of get a grace note hammer on here, like that, which is 9, and then making hammer on 11. So like this. Then you make a pull off, and then you play 12 on B, and then 9 on B. So there is. So that phrase goes like this. Now that lick is repeated a couple of times, and that goes like this. 3, 4. So what do you do? So the first one is 11 on E. Then pull off to 9, and then you play 12, 9 on B. So you do that once more. Then you do the same lick, but instead of playing 11, you play 12 on the E string. So you got then a full tone bend on 12, and then 12, and then a full tone bend and release on 14 of E. And then twice 12 with your index finger. So like this. ending on 14, making another bend. Like this. So you got that 14 full bend and release. Then you play 12 on E, and then a full tone bend and release on 14 of B. And then you play 12 on B with your index finger. Play it once more, and then 13 on G, like that. Then you get the next lick, and that goes like this. So what do? You play 13 with your middle finger on G, 12 on B with your index finger, then 14 with your ring finger, and then a full tone bend, sort of pre-bend, and then a 1.5 tone bend. So release, and then you get, so that is 12, 14 on B, and then 12, 14, 12, so hammer on pull off. Then you play 13 with your middle finger on G, and then 12 on B, then a half tone bend, middle finger G. Release, play that once more, so like. Then you play 11 on G with your index finger, then ring finger plays 13, and then you play 13, and then 7-tone bend again. Pull off, and then slide to 9 on G. Then you get so you have you landed on that 9 on the G string. Then you do ring finger 14, pull off. Then you do bend and release on that 14th position with your ring finger. Pull off to 9. Then 11 D. Pull off to index finger 9. Slide to 7. And then you slide to 11 on A. It's like that. Then you play 9 on G, 11, slide to 13, then play 12 with your index finger on B, 14, then with your ring finger, and then 16 ring finger to 17, and then 19 full bend. Like this. Then you get the following. So you get a full tone bend and release on 19 of B with your ring finger. And then pull off to 17 with your index finger, so like this. Then you get a full tone bend on E string, 19. Then you go to 19, then 17, and then 19, full tone bend and release on B. Going to 17 with the index finger. Then you do the same thing. Full tone bend on 19, 19, and then you play. So that's 17, 17, and then 2, 3 full tone bends on 19 B string. And then you do it once more. And then you do it once more. Full tone bend 19 to 19. Then 17, and then full tone bend 19, release, and then you get 17, 19, 17, and then back to 19 with a full tone bend. So drop it, and then play 17, 17, 17. So together that would make All right, now for the next phrase, and that goes like this. All right, so what do you play? You start off with a pickup, and that goes like this. Just a full tone bend on 19, and then playing 16 with your index finger. So the full tone bend is on B, and you play, and then you play once more that full tone bend on 19. So then you get an interval, a fifth interval, playing 16 with your ring finger on E and 14 on B with your index finger. Play it twice, so sort of slide into it. Then you do the same for 12 and 14. And then you do 12 on E. Then you do a full tone bend on 14 with your ring finger on B. Then index finger plays 11 on E. And then 14 on B. And then 12 on there. So like this. Then you get those intervals again. And instead of going just to 12, you play, so that's a hammer-on and pull-off on 12, 14, 12 on the B string, to 13 G, back to 12. It's like this. Then you play 14 full bend to 11. And that 14 is on B and 11 is on E. Then you get those interval again. And then you play semitone bend on 14. Back to 14. That's on B string. Then you get that hammer-on pull-off on 12 and 14 on the B string. Playing 13 on G. And then playing 12 on B again. And then you play a 1.5 tone bend on 14 on B. And then you do a semitone bend on 14. Then you play 12 twice. And then you play 14. So like this. 3, 4. Like this. Then you get the next part, which is the outro sequence, and that goes like this. Here we go. Then there is a little thingly-dingy at the end, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. First, let's get this stuff done. So what do? It's 14 on B with your index finger, 16 with your ring finger. Just make a semitone bend. And then you do 14, 16, and then semitone bend again. So like this. And then you get 16, 14, 12, and then slide to 14 with your ring finger. Slide back to 12, and then play 9 with your index finger. Like this. Then you repeat. And then here you slide to 9 with the ring finger from 7. Playing 7, and then 9 on G. Then you get a couple of slides, so you go from 11 to 13, and then from 14 to 16. Like this. And then you get this again. And then you slide to 9. Then you get hammer on 12. So you get the that last fiddly diddly thing that I talked about. So that's something like that. I haven't really practiced that part. I just know the notes. So what do you play there? So when you land on that G, on that 9th position of B, then you get a hammer on 12 with your ring finger, pull off to that 9, slide to 7. It's like this. And then you get this sequence. So how do you do that? So you play 7. So how do you do that? So you play 5 with your index finger in B string. Hammer on, pull off, hammer on. So then you slide to 9, then to 11, back to 9, and then you got this, and then you play a 7, with your index finger, hammer on with your ring finger, then you do another pull off, hammer on, pull off, slide to 5, hammer on, pull off, slide to 4, like this. Then you hammer on with your ring finger on 5, slide to 7, and then you get 4, and then you play 4 on on G string, slide to 3, hammer on 4, 3, and then end on 1, like that. So I got the tab for this is online on patreon.com for my patrons, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or remarks, please let them know in the comments below, and I hope to see you again sometime.